Hello and welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And today I'm going to bring with you a recipe that I already have on my channel. It's a puff pastry recipe or a patty choux dough. I'm going to make some puff pastries. So I'll just do the empty shells right now, and then we can fill them with whatever we desire. And I feel like filling them with some nice cream puff, making a cream puff. So I just have to make that dairy cream, and I'll just pipe that in there. But let's do the patty choux or the puff pastry dough first. And I found out that bread flour is a key to keeping your pastries nice and crisp. And the drier they are, the better it holds the cream, because since there's some moist filling, the pastry should be nice and dry on the inside also, so that it can just absorb that cream and it'll be delicious. So we'll go step by step, and I'll show you all the tricks, the tips that I have, and I see you then. So in order to make our dough, we have the measurements here. We have 1 cup of bread flour, 1 cup of bread flour, 1 stick of butter, which I'll just divide up into a few parts. I'm using half a cup of milk, 2% milk, and I'm using half a cup of water because I need 1 cup of liquid for this process. And I need 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I also have here 4 large eggs. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to use for the dough, the patty choux. So and then we have a pot here that's on medium to high heat, and it's been heating. So we're going to just start adding our ingredients and get our dough going. Okay, once the butter melts and we bring this to a boil, then we'll add our flour. Now that we're at a nice roaring boil here, we'll just pour all our flour in here. Pour all the flour, and you stir. You have to keep stirring it. You have to break up all that flour that's in here, whatever lumps there are. Shut the fire off. Remove it from the fire and give it a stir. Break up all those lumps until it comes together. You have to put it back on the fire to cook, so I just want to get it all incorporated in the butter. But we're going to put it back on the fire. Put it back on the fire. Continue cooking. And I'm going to use a lower heat source, which I have a smaller burner, which will give me a lower heat source for this process, because I don't want to see any color get in there. You don't want the flour to turn colors and get any. You're not looking for color here. You just want it to cook. We'll cook this until you start to see a film on the bottom of the pot. It started to leave a film, then you know your dough is done. So until we see that, we'll just continue stirring. Give it a slight sizzle. So you know it's working. Use a basic stir and pull method. You flip and you stir and you pull away. Flip over again and you pull away, and you just look for those little beads of dry flour that may still be there, and try to crush those up. Trying to get as much moisture out of it as possible. So now you see there's a film starting to form there. That's what we're looking for. So it's almost done. You get a little arm workout, but that's okay. You don't need that sometimes. Now that you see that film, there, that means all the moisture is all out of there. So that's why it's starting to form that film. So I'm going to turn this out into the mixer, into my electric mixer, and cool it down for a while, and then add the eggs. So let's move over to the mixer. And there we go, you see the steam coming out of there. Let's cool it down. Once you breathe it up a little bit, you can shut it off, let that steam get out of there, evaporate, and then you can turn it back on. You do this for maybe about 4 to 5 minutes until it's nice and cool, because you don't want to put your eggs in there when it's really hot, because you know what's going to happen to the eggs. going to scramble, and you're not going to get a fluff when you really, which is what you're really looking for. Just let the air, let the steam escape, and we turn it back on. Okay, we'll now add our eggs a little bit at a time. And you'll find your dough will come apart once the egg is added. As you keep beating it, it's going to come back together. So don't panic. As you can see, it's getting back together.
Mixing step by side now. And give that a good mix and do that.
I think we're all done here. This is the consistency you're looking for. When you duck it into the dough and you bring it out, you must see a triangular shape, but it should not be dripping. It should stay like that. And then you know your dough is well incorporated and it's at the right consistency. So we'll just prepare this and we'll get ready for the piping. What a lovely consistency. So we're going to get this into a piping bag and we'll start piping. So what I like to do, I'm using here an 825 Alton star tip. It's a closed star tip, so that's what I'm using. And you can use any tip you want. You can use the round tip, but I usually like to put it over a glass like that, fold the piping bag over, and I get an easy fill here. Just get to fill it. The end of your bag, squeeze your dough down, You twist and get it into the tip there. Okay. And I'm using a half sheet pan, but I inverted it. I turned it over because I found when I use it on the inside, the walls kind of just stop the heat. You know, the heat doesn't get to circulate really, and then you get the spots that are usually lighter in color or whatever. But I just love the effect that I get when I do it on the bottom of the sheet pan. Just do 2 circles, and you don't bother about the tips. We're gonna sprinkle them with some water, and you just damp your finger and you push the tips down so that they wouldn't burn. Also, you can make them any size you want. So for these little tips, I just damp my finger, just press them down so that they wouldn't burn in the oven. And also, I usually would get a spray bottle with some water and just squirt them so that they wouldn't. It slows up the process of the browning and of the color of getting the color, so it makes sure that the inside is cooked properly. Okay, so or you can just like sprinkle, just a little, just sprinkle. Cool. $3.75. 20 to 25 minutes, and do not open the oven for any reason. So we'll go in here, put these guys in. Close it up and just leave it alone. 25 minutes, and then we'll check on that. So here is what we need for the pastry cream, for the cream puffs. We need a cup of heavy cream, a cup of milk, whole milk, and 8 ounces of sugar, a cup of sugar, 2 eggs, a stick of butter, and some orange liqueur. So we're going to combine these ingredients into the pot here and get our cream going. I'm going to let that come to a boil. Let that come to a boil before we add our eggs and anything else. Oh, let's add the, we're going to add the orange liqueur. I'm going to add it once it's boiled, and we're going to add the eggs. But I took the cream off the fire. I added the eggs with the cornstarch. I whipped the eggs with the cornstarch and added it into the milk mixture. Well, you have to temper. I had to take out like a ladle full, maybe about a half a cup, and put it with the eggs and mix and whip the eggs so that it would temper the eggs before I put them in here. So now the cream is coming together, and I just have to have this cook for a little bit and before I put it into the I spread it out into a tray and chill it. It has to be chilled. So I'll continue stirring. What I'll do, I'll strain this out also. I'll strain it so that I can get rid of any lumps or anything from the uncooked eggs or whatever. I'll just strain it so I can get this nice smooth mixture, and I'll put it into the chiller. So I'll keep whisking, and then I'll do the strain. I'll be back. Okay, once the eggs and the milk has come to a boil, you can see it splattering like that and coughing up with little holes and stuff. You know it's coming to a boil. So you boil it for about a minute so that you can get the enzymes and everything everything cooked, so that everything is going to be in harmony. So just a minute, you have to let it just do that for about a minute and you're good. So everything is cooked. I'll now strain this off and let me place it into a pan and put it in the refrigerator overnight. So this is the pastry cream that I made, and I had it in the refrigerator chilling overnight. I'm now going to make a diplomatic cream with it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add some heavy cream, some whipped cream, and just to make it a little lighter before I stuff my pastry puffs. So let's get it in the bowl and get some whipped cream going. So I have here a little heavy cream in this bowl, and I'm going to use this frother. See if I can. Oh, I think it's going to spill, so I have to do the cup. I have to wait it a little longer because it's little. I don't want to all that. This is a frother that I use with my coffee and my cream, and it's doing a very good job here. See, that's what I'm looking for. Have a nice peak, and it's not running. So I'm going to turn this over into the cream, into the pastry cream. And just put this over into the pastry cream and just fold it in. Okay. I'm folding the whipped cream into the pastry cream before piping it. So we're going to get our piping bag, and we're going to start stuffing our pastry creams, our pastry puffs. But I've just filled my pastry bag, as you know. Put it in a tall glass, turn it over, fold it over, fill it up, and you're good to go. Here we have our little puff pastry guys here, already with the hole in the bottom. The hole that I made with this star tip. So we just put that in there, fill that sucker up. And you can tell when it's filling up because it kind of expands in your hand right here. there's enough in there. This one doesn't have a hole as yet. So here we are, guys. Your wonderful cream puffs. I filled them from the bottom, so they're nice and filled. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Awesome. Nice, filled with a nice rich cream. Nice rich pastry cream. Yeah. Flip it. Cheers. Awesome. Wow. You can make your cream ahead of time, the day before, keep it in the refrigerator, and then just before you pipe them into the pastry, you add the heavy cream, the whipped cream. Just a nice little cup, a few tablespoons of whipped cream, and just mix it in there. It gets nice and light. Awesome. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next clip.